The 12-month protected tenancies.
Yes. So this sort of works in tandem and against the shift to periodic only.
Hmm.
So obviously no more ASTs. This 12-month protected tenancy period would function by tenants having essentially a secured tenancy in the sense that the landlord cannot serve notice for repossession if they intend to move back into the property or sell it. So once tenant is in, they would have 12 months where, unless they break the terms of the contract, they can't be evicted if the property wants to, if the landlord wants to sell it.
So let me get this straight. So a tenant can move in day one, serve notice, and move out after 2 months, but a landlord can't do anything for 12 months.
No, not when it comes to regaining the access for selling or moving in. So
Got it.
that's obviously they're trying to rebalance the powers and bring it
Hmm.
more in line. However, this, from where I'm sitting, looks more so in favor of the tenant rather than the landlord.
Yeah, I
So
believe
you've
so.
really got to be careful in the client you're putting in the property. So referencing is a
Is
must
a
and
must.
is an extra stress placed on it after this legislation becomes law.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's transition to tenants can contest rent reviews.
Yes.
Now, I like that one. Don't get me wrong. I think a rent review is needed. It needs to be with uh, the current
The current market
the
value.
current market value. I've seen some landlords come forward and try and put down a £500 rent increase.
Yeah.
We have to educate and say, look, you can't really do that. You can, but it's unethical.
It's good. Yeah, it's pretty unethical.
You can't really do that. So I think that the tenants can contest the rent reviews is a good idea. I would imagine it's the same thing as the property ombudsman. It goes towards there. They
Yes.
either agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Um, I think now they say at the moment you can increase up to 9% as a rule of thumb. There's no
Mm-hmm.
law by it, but as a rule of thumb, up to 9%.
Yeah.
Um, so they haven't put a cap on it, that's for sure. Or they're not looking to put a cap on it. They're just saying that tenants can contest it.
Tenants can contest it.
Right.
It can only happen once per year, including rent review clauses on contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Only once a year can the rent be increased. And also, it prevents the act of doing a sort of a backdoor eviction where you'd increase the rent to an unaffordable price so the tenant has to give their notice. It's
Yeah.
eliminating that practice.
Okay, so if you wanted the tenant out, you say, hey, I'm raising your rent high enough that the tenant just leaves off their own back. So
Yeah,
it eliminates that as
eliminates
well.
that.
Okay, brilliant. And the application of AWOB's law, we educate both tenants and landlords on this as agents. So we would, if there's any issues with mold in the property, they give us a call. We'll go around, have a look, and assess it because sometimes it could be down to just not the ventilation not being great. We would give the sheets that we need to give in order to help and get it sorted. If it continues, if there is major problems, obviously we get in touch with the landlord and they would have to get it rectified ASAP.
Yeah.
Is there any difference to that in what they're trying to put in here?
I mean, it essentially gives, with the creation of the new ombudsman, it gives tenants a way contest
To be heard.
to be heard
Yeah.
because as you said, it comes down to, sometimes it comes down to lifestyle, sometimes it comes down to the property.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about making sure that all parties are educated on what causes mold, condensation,
Mm-hmm.
how to prevent it. So if you're issuing these bits of advice or sheets at the beginning of a tenancy, it shows that the tenant is aware of the causes of condensation and damp. So if that does come up later down the line and you've said, well, I've already provided this instructions and guidance on how to prevent that from happening, then it can rule in favor of the landlord saying, well, the tenant's been instructed. However, if there is black mold appearing and it's clearly down to the structure of the property, that then falls onto the landlord.
At the moment, we're going to see landlords, which I've had the conversations. I had one come in just this morning, wondering what to do.
Mm.
Shall I sell? Shall I stay in? I'm advising don't rush. Just stay in the market. You're fine.
Yeah.
Your property's in good order. Your tenants are happy. You're looking after it. There's going to be a few changes, but nothing's going to be bad. You know, just hold on and stay where you are. So we're going to have a lot more of that coming through. The problem is if people then, you know, landlords want to get out of the game, put their properties all on the market for sale, it will flood the housing market.
Yep.
And plus it will cause a shortage of rental properties. Thus being the rental properties will go higher, supply and demand.
Yes.
Which, even though this is all for tenants, well, I say all for tenants, majority for tenants, that part they hadn't thought about, because now the rents will be a lot higher than what they would be.
Yes, I mean, there will be an imbalance in the market, but it will slowly find its course back again, and it will be
a short
the
term,
same.
and then it'll
go back to its
I'm
equilibrium.
I'm with you. And then obviously we don't want to forget, it hasn't been announced yet, but the increase of CGT.
Yeah.
Now they are going to be discussing that in the budget next month.
Autumn budget, which will be the 30th of October.
30th of October. So they will be discussing that. So obviously if landlords are looking to sell their properties and they know about there could be an increase on CGT, they're going to try and do it now.
Yeah.
Because obviously you do it later on, if it does come in, they will be paying higher CGT, unfortunately. So that's all for today's episode. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel to see more from us in the future.